Hello my beautiful viewers, it is I, Ratupi, from Ratupi's Game Room. Today we'll be doing our first ever retrospective series. The series we're going to cover today is the Persona series. Normally I would go for some of the mainline games first, but forget that. We got that new P5 trailer that just came out and it was awesome, so now I'm going to be doing the Persona series first. I will, however, revisit the mainline Shin Megami Tensei series farther down the road, so don't worry, I'll cover that later. For the sake of time and me having breaks, I'll cover one game per video. This will include the original game and its remake if it had one. Now without a further ado, let us cover Megami Ibunroku Persona and Persona PSP, better known as Persona 1. Now the kind of retrospectives I'm doing may be different from other people's retrospectives. I'm mostly going to be looking at the story and major plot points of the game, so just a heads up for spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, please don't watch this video and just consider yourself warned. Persona 1 takes place in the fictional town of Mikaze-cho in Japan in 1996. The main character and a group of friends meet up during school to play an urban legend game called the Persona game, kind of like a Bloody Mary type of thing. The rules are that one person stands in one corner of a room. Someone starts off by saying, "Persona, Persona, come here," and then walking to the next corner of the room and have that person say the same thing. Once you have reached the final corner, you supposedly get some sort of a mysterious, mystical power. At the risk of an all-you-can-eat dinner, the protagonist and his buddies try it out. Little did they know, a little innocent game like this would change the course of their lives. After they reach the final corner of the room, a mysterious energy zaps the protagonist and his friends into another plane of existence. A plane of existence between dream and reality. Here the protagonist is introduced to Philemon, who grants the protagonist the ability of Persona. Philemon claims he is a being born of the collective consciousness of all humans, and only wishes to assist the protagonist as there is a great danger that lies ahead in his life. After they all regain consciousness, they find themselves in the nurse's office. Their teacher walks into the office and asks them to visit their friend Maki, who is in the hospital because she's been there for most of the school year. When they go into the hospital, they meet Maki, who's in a very fragile state of body and mind. Maki goes on to describe how she has a mysterious father figure that she sees in her dreams and how her mother does not care about her. Suddenly, Maki's condition worsens and she's rushed to the ICU. The protagonist and his friends wait outside to hear the news of her condition. Suddenly, in an earthquake-like phenomena, they attempt to rush into the ICU, which to their surprise is no longer there. They are shocked to find that demons, like the ones in stories, are suddenly attacking their town. Here the protagonist and his friends awaken to their persona abilities. They use their newly obtained personas to fight off these demons in the hospital. They soon realize they can no longer leave the town as mysterious energy is keeping them contained within it. Your team decides to head to a local shrine where you meet Maki's mother, who was wounded badly by her boss who shot her in an attempt to kill her. She describes how her company Sebec is developing this thing called the Deva system, which is responsible for the demons in the town. The Deva system is a reality-altering machine that has the ability of making man's wishes and desires come true. Your two friends, Nanjo and Masayo, head to Sebec's headquarters, while you and your other friends, Eriko and Yukino, take Maki's mother back to school to be taken care of. Here the game lets you make a decision that will determine the version of Persona 1 you're going to play. What that means is there are two alternate paths to take. One is called the Sebec route and the other is the Snow Queen route. First we'll cover the Sebec route, then I'll cover the Snow Queen route later. In the Sebec route, you run to catch up with Nanjo, who's on his way to Sebec's headquarters. Here you meet Maki, who's mysteriously and perfectly healed. She talks about how she has no memories of being in the hospital and how happy she is to see you. After she reunites with you, they head to the police station where they meet up with Masayo, who got himself stuck in a jail cell. Here you find your friend Brown, who is also in a jail cell, and you free him. They finally reach the entrance to Sebec through an abandoned factory. In Sebec, they catch up with Kandori, the leader of Sebec, who injured Maki's mother and is using the Deva system for his own selfish desires. Kandori then throws his guards at you as a distraction for him to run away. Your group finally catches up with Kandori and watches as he attempts to escape to another realm with the Deva system. Maki describes how she feels as if she's seen the Deva system before and tells you to either press the red or blue button. The blue one will stop the Deva system while the red one will overload it and trap him within it, killing him. The decision that is made here really won't matter as Kandori is saved by a mysterious girl named Aki who has mysterious powers. You're teleported and regain consciousness in the school gym. You soon learn that the world you just were teleported to is not the world of your own. Maki describes how she's actually from this other world created by the Deva system and tells you that she wishes to assist you to bring you back to your own world. There is now this large interval of the game that really isn't worth talking about too much since it's just a bunch of boss fights with a ton of Persona users and stuff like that. Nothing really relevant to the plot. After that, you head into a forest of pink trees where you meet up with a little girl named Mai who's scared of the world out there. You tell her to come out of her shell and that you will protect her and such, and she helps you on your journey as she points you in the right direction to Kandori. More boss battles and pursuing happens, and you finally catch up with Kandori, who reveals that he wants to become a being of greater existence. You defeat him to only find out that he's being possessed by his persona, the evil entity Nyarlathotep. After you defeat him one last time, he reveals the Maki that has been with you on this journey is the perfect Maki created by a real Maki's heart. The little girls, Mai, Aki, and the parallel universe are then revealed to be parts of Maki, created when she mysteriously became linked with the Deva system. The group tells the perfect Maki to accept herself for who she really is so that they can save the true Maki from the sea of unconsciousness, where all souls, human and persona, come from. Here they confront the beast Pandora, a side of Maki's darkest desires. After they defeat Pandora, all of the Makis return to one. After this, Philemon greets the protagonist and his friends and congratulates them on successfully saving their town, let alone the entire world, from Nyarlathotep's influence. Now everything returns to the way it was and everyone's happy. Haha, happy ending, right? Well, no. Now we gotta cover the Snow Queen questline. As if one urban legend wasn't enough to make your character stop doing them, another one surely will. In the Snow Queen questline, instead of catching up with Nanjo and Masao, you decide it's a good idea to pursue another urban legend, the urban legend of the Snow Queen. The urban legend surrounds the story of the Snow Queen who freezes over the world, and a group goes to stop her from giving the world an eternal winter. If this story sounds familiar, it's because it was the inspiration for the Disney movie Frozen. Now before I get sidetracked with horrible movies, the legend says, whoever wears the masks of the Snow Queen will die. After finding the mask, your teacher Sayeko puts on the mask and becomes possessed by the mask. Sayeko then covers the entire town in ice and snow, causing an eternal winter in Makage. The protagonist, realizing that he done goofed a second time, heads to save Sayeko. Philemon then tells the protagonist that he needs the demon mirror to save her. You then find out that the spirit inside of the mask is a former student named Tomomi. Tomomi was a person who went to school with Sayeko and was horribly disfigured by the mask when she wore it in the place of Sayeko. It is then revealed on top of that Tomomi is possessed by the Night Queen, Asura. Jeez, this possession after possession thing, it's like a possession sandwich pretty much. After defeating Asura, the town is lifted from its curse and everyone's happy and Sayeko lives. Now normally I'd wrap it up here, but I really want to go over a part of the Persona 1 manga that I enjoyed as a part of the story. I kinda wish this was canon since it adds a level of depth to the main character, but oh well, I can pretend, can't I? The story revolves around the protagonist's twin brother who died in a car accident on his way to see him while he was sick. This led to severe trauma in his parents as they would start to call him and identify him as his brother. This made him feel unneeded and unloved. He then pierced his ear so he could identify differently than his brother. This is not canon, but I thought it would be worth sharing. Now that pretty much wraps up our retrospective of Persona 1. This was a hell of a pain of a write, but it was fun at the same time. The story of a town on the brink of destruction saved by a group of teens. Everything can go back to normal now that Nyarlathotep is defeated and his horde of demons are gone. Or are they?